Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. Today I've got a video about giving advice on why you may want to consider a home gym. Now, while this video is not targeted towards everyone, there might be an audience that finds this relevant and will help them improve their lifestyles. So that's the point of the video. Now, if you were to just randomly enter home gym onto Google, you might be very overwhelmed by the state of the images that you get, because a lot of these look like commercial gyms just in someone's house. Now, this is a little excessive because I know that these will cost in the tens of thousands, but that's not what the purpose of the video for today is. Today's purpose is to help certain groups of people solve an issue that they might want to improve their health. So an example of the audience that might benefit from this video is people that don't want to go to the gym for various reasons, such as the subscription is too expensive, because I'll be talking in Australian currency. So let's say you're paying $20 to $40 per week. That is a lot of money over the course of a year. That would be in the thousands. And they want to try to exercise without the ongoing fees. A home gym could be quite beneficial for this group. Another group could be people who go to the commercial gym on an irregular basis, such as people that have kids and they're too busy to go out to the gym for some long sessions. So having the equipment on hand is a very convenient way for people to be able to do exercises which they may not be able to anywhere else. Another beneficial audience would be people that regularly go to the gym but have to wait in long lines for people that are using equipment. So example of this is, let's say a gym only has one bench press. You often have to wait half an hour to 1 hour for that to free up. And if you had that set up in your own home, you don't have to wait at all. You could just hit the bench whenever you'd like. So I just quickly want to go through the costs just to show you, kind of set an expectation that a home gym doesn't necessarily have to be that expensive in the long term. It's kind of like an investment. It will pay its value in a longer time horizon. So let's just see, in terms of costs, a commercial gym. In Australia, a commercial gym, typically the lowest cost would be around $20 per week. So if we were to take 52 weeks in a year, you can see that the cost would be $1,040 per year. So you can see that if you're a little bit conservative on spending on your home gym, you're paying $1,040 per year on a commercial gym. That could buy you so much equipment. Let's say you're on the higher end, you go into a fancy gym that costs $40 per week. That would be like $2,080. Now imagine if you were to go to the gym for many years, something that I do, and I've realized that I pay tens of thousands of dollars in the long term. So across 5 and 10 years, across 5 years, the cheapest gym will cost you $5,200, and across 10 years, $10,400. And if you're on the fancier end, that'll be $10,400 and $20,800. With this amount of money that I've personally been paying over this many years, these fancy setups I definitely could have invested in, and it would have benefited me in the long term. But that's just from a cost perspective. Of course, there's a space perspective, that if I bought all of this equipment, I wouldn't have enough space. So the focus of this video is basically the starting home gym that you can set up in basically an apartment. And then if you wanted to, you can have a look around and then find the certain types of equipment that would fit in the space that you have. But each person has their own circumstance, so just take this as a starting advice which can help you continue your research later. So let's just think of what is the most basic type of things that we would expect from a home gym that could allow us to do a range of exercises as a starting point. So I think the most important thing from my mind is the weight set. So dumbbells, barbells, and I think 50 kilograms is a good starting point. What I'll do is I'll bring up the actual products just to indicate that these are real prices. They're not just something I'm making up. This one here is $180. And then I'll pull up exactly the products that I have on the right hand side. Just before I continue, I mentioned that I'm looking at Australian websites and retailers, but if I was to generalize across the world, I'm going to categorize in like these type of ways. So you have the local retail stores. A lot of these will be common. So let's say Kmart, Target, they sell gym equipment. We also have like sports specific stores. So here in Australia, we have something called Rebel Sports. Similar sort of things. Online is actually very good nowadays. So places like Amazon and eBay, there's a lot of different choices. You can't go wrong with weights, because weights are weights, doesn't matter. I guess there is slight variations in quality, but if you're lifting a dumbbell, I think price, if you pay above a certain threshold, the equipment should fairly be similar. You have online gym equipment stores. So these ones are mainly targeted towards commercial gyms and businesses. So these are like the fancy large equipment that would cost in the thousands. Can be good value if you see something on sale, but not a main place that I would be getting equipment from. And something that is underrated is secondhand marketplaces. So an example would be Facebook Marketplace. So this is less likely to be a scam because a weight's a weight. You can't really fake the weights. I mean, you can go there in person and feel it. So Facebook Marketplace, good place to get deals. And like really old gym equipment, let's say it's a rubber plate, it's 20 years old versus 5 years old, it's pretty much the same. So that's also a good place to get some deals. Anyway, back on topic, apart from the 50 kilogram weight set, which I'll show over here, I'll also bring up the actual image. So you can see I searched on Google 50 kilogram weight set, you can see here Rebel, $180. Open it up and here we go. You can kind of see, yep, it has pretty much exactly what I need. Another thing that would be important is to get a weight bench. So these ones can vary in prices, but if you go on like Amazon, for example, you can kind of search it up. So this is the exact one that I have. You can see it's around $100, not too expensive. But if you really wanted, you could search for other ones. So you can go on Amazon, type in weight bench. And you can see there's tons of options. You can get the ones that don't have the bars on the side, just the weight itself. And then you can get like a frame to do bench press and squatting like separately. You can see some of them are built in, a little bit more pricey, but you can get them individually. $100 to $200, reasonable pricing. Okay, so I'm just going to put here $100 as average. Okay, what else do you have? You have bands. So bands, good for some exercises. Again, not compulsory. Let's have a look through here. Type in bands. Again, you can see I'm like scrolling through the websites. Bands here, super cheap. Let's just say $40 for like a lot of different types of bands. Next, you can buy medicine balls. Medicine balls also relatively affordable. I just showed that previously on the screen. So around $40. Medicine balls over here, you can see that they're around $40. Yeah, and here we go, yoga mats. I think yoga mat would be good for like ab exercises. Let's say that would be around $45. So let's say yoga mat around $45. Okay, let's say you have all of this equipment. It's going to be spread everywhere. I think organization, somewhere to organize all of the things together, that's super important. So I can just go on here. So Kmart's just an example. You can just see weight rack. And there you go, $60 for a weight rack. Let's say you want a bigger one. To search online, you can see various ones over here. Again, $860, that's probably on the high end of the spectrum, but that would also include like cables. So just go within the budget, but plenty of different options. Let's just go for the cheapest for now, and let's put in weight rack. So let's just say adding up the total cost, how much would this be? $465. Maybe I can add some recovery equipment. I think recovery is also important. Let's say add some foam rollers. So foam rollers you can get from anywhere. Yeah, very cheap. You can see around here. So let's say we get the spiky one and the smooth one. That would probably cost what, $70 maximum. So let's just say around $70. There we go, $535. So that's kind of what you'd expect from like a basic gym setup, but it already covers like a lot of things that you can do, and it would only be around half of a year's gym membership on the cheapest gym that you can probably get. Moving along, what could your setup look like? I've done an example of what my space looks like and just turned it into like an art form, so you can kind of see an idea. It's not perfect, but you can kind of see you got dumbbells, you got the foam rollers, you have everything on a weight rack, you have your bands, your medicine ball, your yoga mat, and then your barbell. So what exercises could you do? If you had the bench thing, you could do bench, you can do shoulders, you can do biceps, triceps, legs, you can do squats, you can do deadlift, you can do various things. And you can also notice that the amount of space it takes up is actually not that bad. So I'd say that you could fit all of this equipment in the corner of a apartment, maybe in the living room. Probably everything out would be like 3 by 2 meters. But if you had the weight rack and have it all stored away in the corner, I reckon you can fit it in about a 1 by 1 meter squared, a little bit in the corner. So really, it doesn't really take up a much space. It just depends on your priorities, I guess. You don't need everything here. Even some of it, you spend like $100 on the barbell, or you spend $200 on the barbell dumbbells. That's enough to do a lot of exercises. But let's say you wanted to upgrade further, maybe that's a little bit too basic. Facebook Marketplace is actually a really good place to find deals. Okay, so you can see here there's like a lot of different types of gym equipment. I think Marketplace is also a good place to kind of get inspiration from other people, because you can see some people have like the all-in-one setup, not too bad for $400, but some of them get a lot more pricey. So you can see that this person has spent $10,000 on their home gym. They have all like cardio equipment, all different types of weights. They have the fancy rack that has everything, including the cables. And you can take inspiration to kind of like their setup. A little bit on the high end of the spectrum, but you can see you can go as low as like a few $100s. You can see $500 for an all-in-one trainer. This is not bad. This basically covers everything. You can even do pull-ups as well. So Facebook Marketplace definitely has a lot of good deals, and you can see that you can practically get something that does majority of your exercises in half the price of a yearly gym membership or 1 year of a gym membership. I guess the only consideration is, would you actually get motivated to do the gym in your own house? Different people have different perspectives. I'm just trying to provide some information to some people that may not know that you could build a setup like this in your own home. And hopefully these kind of pictures and ideas and information would benefit you in the long term, and hopefully you can get a good outcome. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to subscribe for more, and leave a like and comment down below if you want to see any other videos. I look forward to making more advice videos because I know there's a lot of things that could benefit many people. So stay safe, and I'll see you guys next time.